Hey there guys, it's ReadyAir here with AirgunWeb, and I got a special project I want to talk to you guys about. So first of all, AirgunWeb is about airgun reviews, and we're going to really start focusing on that aspect of AirgunWeb, just straight, good old-fashioned airgun reviews and information about airguns that I hope you guys will really like. Now, what do we do with all the other stuff? Well, you know, I can't keep just loading like a video a day on AirgunWeb. So we've started another channel called Modern Airgunner. And so we're going to be putting all of that other airgun related stuff, whether it's an optic or a flashlight, or maybe I'm going to go out hunting or show you guys what it looks like in my shop when it kind of looks like all the airguns threw up over there. But we're going to be taking all that kind of stuff and putting on a channel called Modern Airgunner. And so this is our first series. And what you see here on the table, ta-da, is really what we're going to be focusing on the first time through. You guys have been asking about personal compressors, and there's not a lot of information that I've seen that sort of walks people through all of these options. So first and foremost, let me just say that what I've picked here is not every personal compressor, but it's a good representation of the different personal compressors on the market. Now, I identify a personal compressor as a small, compact compressor that's designed mainly to fill your air gun, not a tank. So it needs to be relatively small and portable. It needs to be pretty affordable. We're not talking about, you know, $2,000, $3,000 compressors here. And it needs to really focus on you filling your air gun. So what we've got here is we're going to start with the lowest cost, working to the highest cost. And we start down here with the JTS compressor. This guy is 550 bucks, great little compressor. It's 12 volt. It's also 110 using a converter. It will fill to 4,500 PSI, manual shutoff, oil splash lubricated. Very cool unit. Then you go to the ReadyAir, which is also about $550, but it's completely different. It's got a computer in here that measures temperature. And so when it gets too hot, it knows to shut down, it cools off, and then you can start it back up again to finish your fill. Very, very awesome. This is also oilless and waterless. It's purely air-cooled, and it's also user serviceable. So every 20 hours, you're going to pop this off, and you're going to go through and rebuild the cylinder. It's really very easy to do. In fact, I did the video for Umarex on how to do it, so you guys can check that out at UmarexUSA. This is just a really solid unit. Again, 110 and also 12 volt. Now we move over to the Venturi Nomad, and again, this is another one of those compressors it's similar, but also yet very unique. It uses silicone, but drops of silicone, not a big reservoir, and it's also air-cooled. It's also fully self-contained, like the ReadyAir. Very, very awesome, but the price goes up here. So we're looking at that $700 to $800 price point for this unit, but Venturi does a great job in the aesthetics. This nice case, all of these things that I have here in the tray will go in the pouch. You just pick it up and put it in your trunk, and you've got your compressor ready to put air in your gun. Very, very cool. 110 and 12 volt, and the converter, like the ReadyAir, is built in. You don't need an extra box. Now we move over to the trail charger. We start going up again in price. Now this is the $800 to $900 price point, and this guy is also 12 volt and 110 using the same type of converter that the JTS does. This one's going to fill faster. This also has the advantage of being able to fill small pony bottles. So this is kind of a really cool option. Now, all of these also are all 4,500 PSI. So you've got really from like a $550 price point all the way up to now that $800, $900 price point. You've got some really good options here. This guy, manual auto shut off. In fact, all of these are auto shut off. I mean, all of this stuff is pretty slick. And this one is water cooled versus the others that have all been air cooled. This is water cooled, and it has a grease reservoir to lubricate the piston. Again, each one of these things does something a little bit differently and brings a different feature set to what you may be looking for. Now we jump over to the hill, and this is the most expensive at $1,300, give or take price point. This thing is just awesome. I mean, it just is such a cool unit. It fills far more quickly than the rest of these. Just bottom line, we're going to get to exactly those numbers as we go through each of these. But it's also computer controlled. It's smart like the ReadyAir, that it has this temperature sensing shutdown type situation, but it does something different in that it also restarts to complete the fill. So it has this autonomous operation, which is very, very awesome. It has oil reservoirs, one for crankcase and one for silicone over here. Very easy to get to, very, very user-friendly here on this unit. Very nice display. The one difference that it does have is it doesn't fill to 4,500 PSI. It tops out at 300 bar. So we've got a lot of different things to talk about here. We're going to walk through each of these compressors. We're going to do a video on each one. We're going to run some basic tests. We're going to fill it on the test plug to its max operating pressure and see how long it takes. And then I've got a 480 cc bottle here. This is for a Rex or a Gambo TC 3545. And we're going to fill this to 250 bar from dead empty. And then we're going to take a little air out and we're going to top it off from 150 to 250 bar and see how long it takes for each of those operations. And that should give you guys a pretty good idea of what to expect from these compressors. So join us over at Modern Airgunner as we walk through one compressor at a time. I hope you guys really enjoy the series. And if you have questions about other things you'd like us to look at, that channel is where we're going to be putting all of that content. So please let us know. Please like, subscribe, all of that kind of stuff. Tell your friends, because that's going to be a channel where we're just going to talk about everything. Besides just the raw airgun reviews, we're going to have a lot more cool stuff over there. Guys, that's it for now. Please join us over at Modern Airgunner. My name's Rick. Thanks for watching.